It still says, oh, now we're live.
Did you tweet it out?
I tweeted 15 minutes ago that we were going to go.
Okay.
I did not tweet that, and I now have too many windows open, and I have no idea where anything is anymore. Okay, there's the video.
Well, you've got 45 minutes. That's what I've set my timer for. I'm sorry.
All right, so 7 minutes. We'll start at the 7-minute mark of my recording. Okay, going in 5, 4, 3, 2. Greetings, heroes. Welcome to Prepare for Combat for episode number 16 for June 24th. Take 2. My brain's gone. Oh. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
That was awesome. That was great. That needs to be in the post show.
That was. I'll add that to the end. That was awesome.
That was perfect. Perfect.
On this material.
Deeps, you are awesome.
Good boy, Deeps. Good comedic timing.
7:40 in there. Put in the freezer there. I can't eat right now. Thank you. My ice cream has arrived way too late. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Okay, thank you, Deeps, for that. And we will try this once again. 4th time's the charm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Greetings, heroes. Welcome to Prepare for Combat episode number 16 for June 24th, 2014. This is AcuZod. Joining me tonight in no particular order, kind of totally at random, we've got, let's welcome Ro. Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
You need to work on the tagline a bit, I think. All right. Also joining us, we have Alachaas.
This is Alachaas. There, tagline.
All right. And finally, batting cleanup, we've got Jasmine.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
See, Jasmine knows where it's at.
There you go.
Be polite and courteous and stuff.
Banter, people.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh, so glad y'all could join us, and everybody's here on time for the start of the show. That is awesome. So we will throw it out to Jasmine. Jasmine, how has your week been?
My week has been excellent. It's been very, very busy. I went on a weekend trip. I went up and visited the Bay Area. I had a lot of fun. It was really awesome, but I am exhausted, so I slept in kind of a lot the last couple of days. How's your weekend been?
Oh, not too bad. Actually, I got worked from this morning 4 o'clock until, I guess about an hour ago. Okay, it's not true. 2 hours ago because I was playing Heroes an hour ago. That's really all I've been doing. I've been charging. I want to get to 40 because as we're going to talk about, we think there's another patch coming up. They're probably going to do a wipe pretty soon. I want to get to 40 before the wipe just to say I did it. I guess no real reason other than that. So I've been playing non-stop Heroes. On the outside of Heroes, my wife, Prank S, the beautiful, has jumped back into WoW with us, and she's raiding with our raid team with Fert, with Ro and Alachaas. So we're glad to have her back in WoW. So that's pretty much my week. Ro, how's your week been?
I swore to myself that I would not let it take any of my money this time. It wasn't going to happen.
It did, didn't it?
I would not let the Steam sale get to me. And lo and behold, Dragon Age Origins, a game that I had never played, was on sale for 75% off with all the DLC. And I said, damn it, Steam. Why do you make me do this?
The dreaded Steam summer sale.
I have been suckered by the Steam summer sale. I have so far spent about $25, and I'm hoping the carnage ends there.
It won't.
I always hate the Steam summer sale. Amazing deals I just don't want to buy.
This is why I don't look at Steam during the summer. I turn it off.
I do.
Get off the start menu and just go, no. Bad Steam.
I have spent $12. I admit I have spent $12, and I feel you, Ro. I completely feel you. During the last big Steam sale, I also picked up Dragon Age Origins, and I really, really liked it, so I think you'll enjoy it, but I understand it got me too.
Yep.
Ooh, I'll throw something out there then to scare both of you. If you probably already know it, being the people that you are, but Humble Bundle. Oh, you haven't seen that. The Humble Bundle. Hard to say, but easy to spend money on.
We want a few more of those.
If you haven't heard of it, it's a kind of a special offer where you volunteer how much money you want to pay for a collection of games that changes every week, and the money that you pay gets split between the humble people versus the people who actually make the games and a charity. So not only can you name your price literally anything you want to pay for any number, no, for the games that they're offering, but the money also goes to charity, so it's an incentive to pay a little bit more. And if you pay more than the average price, which is usually $5 to $8, you get like 5 or 6 extra bonus games or CDs or ebooks, and there's just that thing ate me alive.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid those like the plague.
Yeah.
Because not because it's it's a great cause and stuff like that, but I can count the number of Steam games I bought from Steam sales that I have not yet played any considerable amount, and it's in double digits easily.
Ooh, you beat me then. I've only got like 6. I haven't played yet. So, Alachaas, your turn. What have you been up to this week?
Gary.
Gary.
Our raid team has killed the Lich. The Lich King. Wow! Hey!
Congratulations!
I would hopefully kill the Lich King by now. Jeez.
Are you gonna work on Illidan next?
Oh.
Be a little Ragnaros. Just
Ragnaros 1.0.
mix it up.
And you now know what my week has been like. We're getting ready for Nerdtacular, so there's been lots and lots of planning going on there. Type of idea, as well as we have our 6-year-old niece living with us for the next couple months. So I have been babysitting a lot.
Fun. So I guess her mother realized you guys were really, really good with animals because you have that whole farm going on in the house. So what's one more mammal in the group?
I guess. All I know is she loves the pool. So we have a pool at our house, and we can't seem to get her out of it.
Aww.
It's okay. How old is she?
6.
Oh, good age. That's the age where they still believe you and listen to you and don't argue with you.
Yes, but it's also the age that they love Frozen. Although I have never seen the movie Frozen, I feel I now know all the songs.
Oh, you're missing out. You need to watch it.
I'm 28, and I love the movie Frozen.
I went and saw How to Train Your Dragon 2 this weekend. You should go. That is all I'm going to say.
Have not seen that one. Big fan of the first one. Haven't seen the second one yet.
Go. Bring tissues.
A lot of people have said the second one's better than the first.
Ooh, not saying a lot.
Yep.
Yes. And they actually added a new character. I'm not going to say who or what he is, but the voice of him is Kit Harington, or Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
wow.
I was going to say I didn't know the actor's name, but I know nothing. Jon Snow.
I know a lot, Jon Snow, as my wife is a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Absolutely. So. Alrighty, so with that, let's go ahead and jump into this week's news. Alright, this week, of course, today is Tuesday Patch Day. Free heroes this week, we've got Illidan, Malfurion, Sonya, Sergeant Hammer, Vala, and at level 7 you unlock the amazing Lily. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Who are you guys interested in this week?
I would say Lily if I had not already purchased her. Really, Lily stands out for me. I also really like Vala in this lineup. She's a lot of fun. Like we mentioned, we talked about her last week. She's a really good intro character if you want to jump right in and start playing. But those are really the two that stand out the most to me.
For myself, I would say Illidan, simply because Illidan is touted as being one of the harder characters to learn how to play. So I figure if there was ever time to experience why that's the case, now's the time.
Do it.
I just played Illidan, actually. That's what I was playing immediately before the show, because I've got the point where I can do, play 4. I'm at the play 4 hero quest for him to get all those bonus points, and he is challenging and fun.
I like flipping over people and then shredding them on the way back.
That is fun. Okay, next news. Oh, go ahead.
I'm looking at Lily.
Lily. Have you played Lily?
I have not played Lily.
Ooh, you'll like her.
Now, I do have to do follow-up, because I did ask you guys last week who you wanted to play. Well, actually, it was 2 weeks ago, so never mind!
I've lost all track of time. I don't even know what day it is.
Because I showed up to the last show late because I was working late.
Right.
So there was a whole new set of characters that you guys got to say you wanted to play.
Oh.
But now we have things set up for next week, as long as everyone shows up.
Yep.
I can be there.
I do believe in magic. I do. What is the thing? I believe in fairies. Everyone clap your hands.
Well, speaking
I
of
can,
that, no, go ahead.
I can be there. We leave for Nerdtacular the next day. Woo!
The next day, as in Wednesday.
Yes.
I was just going to announce that the show was moving to Wednesday next week. So
there you go.
maybe we'll hold it off a week and do Tuesday next week.
I can still. I'm bringing my laptop, so I'm sure I can still actually from the hotel, possibly.
Yeah.
No,
So
If
it'd
any-
be too late. It'd be too late. So if I'm not there, Ro, I have written down the people. I now know you to ask the questions.
We know the people. Got it.
Because
Power
to
to
the
the
people.
people.
Choose people.
Bitches people.
All
Oh.
right. Next up on the news for this week, Blizzard announced, last Thursday, I think it was, they put out a post called "The next phase of the technical alpha is beginning soon," which I think implies, if I'm reading it correctly, that the next phase of the technical alpha is beginning soon. And
I don't know, soon, and then the TM that comes with all Blizzard posts that say the word soon in them.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I
they-
was waiting for it to hit this week, but nope, wasn't there.
you
Well,
beat me to it, Jasmine.
I do think more invites are going out, though. I mean, I started seeing people on Twitter, from Canada and such, like Jocelyn Moffat. She got her Heroes invite. She does the Gamers In podcast. So I saw she got in, and I saw some other people are getting in that aren't necessarily, in the USA. So I think their invites are definitely outreaching more, although we may not be in like the next big major overhaul with the wipe and everything,
Yep. Now they did announce that they will be inviting people from North America, Europe, Latin America, Southeast Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, which I think is awesome. So you're correct. They're definitely throwing out the net a little bit wider. And they also made a post mention, how do I opt into Heroes of the Storm? Hopefully everybody knows the idea is you go into your beta settings inside your Battle.net account and choose the box saying Heroes of the Storm. But I thought it was rather unusual. They made a particular mention to say make sure to run the beta profile program that does a snapshot of your computer and uploads it. I have a feeling that they're targeting people more, or at least that they're prioritizing people who've run that snapshot recently, because I have to admit, mine was a bit old, and then I ran the snapshot, and then I got in the next week. Now, it was probably Rose doing, because Rose awesome. But I would recommend people, if you're looking to get in, and you haven't run that little beta profiler, it doesn't have a recent date on it, go run it again just to make sure that you're up to date.
Well,
I tend to go in there and run the beta profiler just regularly whenever there's a new beta or alpha that comes out. It's the pattern. I go in there, I click the opt-in, and then I run the beta profiler or the system profiler, and usually I'm pretty good. I actually went through a computer transition during Hearthstone beta last year. I went through a computer transition and I forgot for like a month, and oh crap, I need to go back in there and redo my beta profiler. So yes, just if you go opt-in, also run the thing. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind one of the things that they keep stressing in this technical alpha is that they're attempting to see how this client performs with a number of various different system builds and such like that. So for them to have that information, if you have somewhat of a unique system, I would say, especially like, say, a system that you build yourself, that might be the kind of thing that they're targeting for to see how that performs with the client. So I definitely use that.
All right. Also up this week, they announced, I don't know, I'm going to mispronounce this. I know it. Is it Zagara or Zagara? The new hero.
Zagara.
Zagara, the new hero that's coming out soon. Damn.
Yes.
All right,
She
is anybody
does
really familiar with Zagara wants to talk about her?
Zagara is
Zagara.
actually a broodmother. So in the StarCraft universe, after the Queen of Blades is captured in Wings of Liberty, spoilers! Sorry, I said that afterwards.
No, I'm not going to watch the movie.
A bunch of broodmothers go to run, or not after she's captured, excuse me. It's kind of after the Overmind gets destroyed in the original StarCraft.
Yep.
brood mothers kind of create swarms and go on about their things. And I'm probably getting that wrong, and I will get emails about it. We're okay. But Zagara is a brood mother that was running a section of the swarm before Kerrigan came back to unify all the swarm. Type of idea.
Yeah, that story was in Heart of the Swarm. And once Kerrigan was basically got out from being captured and was going back toward uniting the Zerg and getting the Zerg back under her control, Zagara was one of her primary allies and such. And even though
originally
Kerrigan,
she tried to kill Kerrigan,
right?
But when Kerrigan beat her, she saw something in Zagara of, hey, I can train this person to help me out and
to be the right-hand person.
Yeah. You know, so eventually that's what Zagara became. And so that's why you look at her abilities, it's like Baneling Barrage, Hunter Killer. A lot of her abilities, it looks like she's summoning Zerg to her side. So she's acting as the brood mother or the person who's controlling the Zerg. Because even her heroic ability, or two heroic abilities, Nidus Network or Devouring Maw. And really what it means is, so Zagara can travel through a Nidus worm, placing her around the battlefield. So basically, anywhere that there's flat land, Zagara can show up with Nidus Network.
Also, the Warlock teleport things, right?
Right. Where Devouring Maw, which looks like more what I would be going after, you summon a giant maw, engulfing your enemies and slowly digesting them over 10,000 years.
It feels to me like Zagara is kind of a cross between the Witch Doctor playstyle with a little bit of the mobility possibilities that, Falstad and Brightwing have.
I would also throw a little Arbiter in there.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she could really kind of stay back and just throw her minions out on the town and kind of go kill some things.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll have to see when she comes out how she plays. Of course, when she comes out will be soon.
I do love the video that they have. If you've not checked out her video, it's kind of fun, and I love that they make fun of Murky.
I have not seen it. All right, link will be in the show notes, so we can go watch that. They also announced the skin previews for Insectoid Zagara, which I surely looks like a big insect to me. So I really, other than being a different big insect, I'm not quite grasping that one.
Look at her front claws. They're like scorpions.
Very much big scorpion. Yeah.
Scorpion version, okay. They also announced, bang the microphone there. They also announced the Spectre Illidan skin, which I know they'd announced that earlier. I guess that means maybe they're close to releasing it, and I think that is one good-looking skin for Illidan.
It's definitely interesting. It's definitely one you see.
Speaking of interesting, we have the Candy King Muradin, which looks like something that came from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on a bad day.
Well, I love the fact that his tint, he goes from like, oh, look at my cotton candy and my cupcake and my lollipop and everything like that. And then the tint, they show the tint, and it is chocolate. He is now Chocolate Muradin. I love it so much.
That I could see, definitely. That's awesome.
I'm not sure, though, are you going to want to beat people with Chocolate Muradin or just eat Chocolate Muradin?
He lures them in with his delicious candy coating, and then releases the evil inside. It's like M&Ms.
He exacts sweet vengeance upon the enemy.
Sweet. If I'm playing him, I'm going to get eaten. I know it. All right, so that's the big news coming up. Again, all of this is coming out soon. I honestly expected these today, but they didn't make it today. Maybe next week. We'll keep fingers crossed. The big discussion topic for this week is the underdog bonus. Now, we talked 3 weeks ago, about the fact that Blizzard was intentionally giving extra EXP to the team that was behind in order to keep the levels somewhat close in the game and give the losing team a chance to kind of come back. They'd make them work for it, of course. Well, after a lot of feedback from the community, they have, I wouldn't say they about face, they're trying a different tactic now with the underdog bonus. Now, instead of just trickling extra EXP to the losing team, Both teams get the same amount of regular EXP for killing minions and the trickle random EXP over time that they give out, but they've now put the level into play so that when a lower level hero kills a higher level hero, they get more experience, and when a higher level hero kills a lower level hero, they get less experience. So you get experience based upon the level of the person you killed, which I personally think is a great idea, but I want to throw this open out to you guys and see what you think of this as a, keeping the game kind of even tactic.
I love it. I love everything about this. I think that this is a really excellent balance that they've struck. It makes it so that the people actually have to work harder for their bonus, or they actually have to work for the bonus. Before, it kind of felt like the losing team or the team that was behind was kind of just getting their points on a silver platter and going, here, the game is now never going to be any more varied. Even if you are complete crap at this game, you can only be 3 levels behind. It's fine. Here, we are Blizzard, the great giver of XP. And now it actually feels like, okay, yes, we can catch up, we can get ahead if we work for it. And it also means the team that is the higher level still has to have, they don't just have to work harder. It actually adds more strategy. It's not just keep playing well, it's, oh, keep playing well, but also now you have to think about, since you are going to be giving them a lot more experience with your kill if you jump in and die, now it's like, okay, well, do I want to take on these 3 people 1v3 when, back a couple of weeks ago, I would have done 1v3 because if I die, the world's not going to end, and I'll probably take down 2 of them, and now it's like, oh, this might give them their next level because they're 5 levels below us or something. I like it. It adds more strategy. It makes it fairer for everybody without making it seem like everything has been nerfed.
Well, and I think this is where it needed to be. I mean, for me, if I'm a higher level and I'm killing a lower level, they have less life than I do. They also possibly have less abilities, so it is easier for me to kill them. I shouldn't get the same amount of experience because it doesn't take the same amount of experience as it would for me to kill A, someone on the same level, or B, even somebody who's a higher level who has more of those skills than I have. If I can take down somebody who's got more skills than me, I need to get some more XP out of that.
Good point.
Yeah, I think the best thing that this does is, just like what Jasmine was alluding to, is it's promoting on both sides of the action to really take team play into consideration. One of the things, now I haven't played a heck of a lot of League of Legends, but one thing about League of Legends is that people more often than not can be out for themselves, maybe not the highest levels of play, but you can do your thing in your lane, and every once in a while you worry about teaming up and doing stuff. At least that's the impression I've gotten from seeing a lot of League games.
That's pretty fair.
With this in effect, team fighting and group fighting and, having someone basically be a wingman, if not have 2 people with you, is going to become far more important in the play, especially when you are the underdog.
The only concern I do have with this, and it's a far-off concern, but it's just I'm looking at my crystal ball, is I'm wondering how this will add to the toxicity of the players. Because now I'm 4 levels up, and oh, you know what? I made a mistake. I got killed. Am I now going to get called a noob? Am I now going to get called all these names because I gave them more XP?
I don't know. I have to admit, I think if your team is 4 levels up, you're probably not going to worry about a death or 2.
I hear what you're saying, and I think that that's a really excellent point. I would counter that the sort of people that would call you a noob or throw some really nasty slurs your direction are probably going to do it anyway, regardless of whether or not you are 4 levels up or on the same level or 1 level below. I think there's still going to be a pile of butts to you.
I agree. Like I said, I just want to see how does this affect the toxicity level. That's all. Just something to keep in our hats, or for me to keep in my hat as it goes.
I have to mention, by the way, I finally I finally was in a game with a really toxic, caustic, annoying player who I can't actually describe because I want to keep this family-friendly podcast. Vulgar, mean. I was just so happy and proud that I felt like the game had finally made it because we attracted that kind of player.
Oh, well, that is what is driving me away, so I hope that it makes it in a different way.
You also have to remember Zod played for many a millennium, I know I'm making it longer than it is there, Zod, but played League of Legends. So he is really used to the toxic player.
That doesn't make it better.
Yeah, exactly. The less toxic this game can be, the better. I mean, I hadn't gotten into any MOBA at all really prior to this. I maybe only played 2 or 3 games of League and Smite and stuff like that. This is the only one that I've really dedicated a whole lot of serious time to, and a big reason to that so far has been, all things considered, I haven't had to deal with too much of that toxicity just yet. It's enough that I've dealt with more toxicity in WoW than I do in Heroes right now.
That's true. Now, speaking of that, this is something that's kind of been in the back of my head, which is neither here nor there, nor on topic. But I'm almost level 37. I'm 1 win away from being level 37, and I think maybe 2 or 3 times have I run into a really annoying caustic person. But I know Jasmine, for example, who's played almost as much, is run into a lot of them. Maybe it's just different in our playtimes, but it just seems weirdly weird, the wide range of players we've seen out there.
It might have been also that I have been backing off of playing the last several weeks, but after the initial wipe, I put in a lot of time in the first week or so, and that's going to be when a bunch of people are coming back to it, and everyone is thrown together, and everybody wants to level, and they want to go ASAP, and they want to win, and so I might have been putting a sizable chunk of time in when the stakes were higher, and it might have increased the toxicity I've seen. I'm not sure, but yeah, your experience has been a lot different than mine. It also might be because I have a feminine name. I didn't realize that my battle tag was going to be my name in this game, so it's IRL Jasmine, and I get a lot of gendered crap thrown at me when I play, so it might be a little bit of that too.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
It also could be the level that you consider toxicity. Zod could have a different rating for what toxicity is versus what Jasmine has.
Well, I've threats of sexual assault and battery and murders. I feel like Zod would have the same level.
Yeah, those definitely count.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's an interesting thing you bring up. I almost wonder if it would be beneficial to have an option to mask the battle tag name on your character. I mean, obviously, at the end of the match, there's still going to be that option to, add this person to your friends list and stuff, send the invite and stuff. But during the name, if your character's just recognizes, say if you play Lily, it just says Lily, just like when a bot controls it.
Trust me, I would love that, because people don't refer to you usually as your name anyway, right? Usually when they're talking to you, they refer to you as, oh, Lily, or, they never say, oh, AcuZod. That's not what they say. So I think that would be an absolutely wonderful solution. I would hide my name 100% of the time and probably play a lot more frequently.
Interesting. All right. Hey, Blizzard, I hope you're listening. Of course you're listening. You're Blizzard. We'd like the ability to hide or change our battle tags, please. Thank you.
I don't really want to... That's the thing, is I don't really want to change my entire battle tag. My battle tag is the handle I use online.
Change the name that's displayed.
Exactly. So I know that I could do the battle tag change. I think I still have my one free one, but I don't really think that I should have to do the battle tag change, the one I exchange with my friends, in order to be able to present when you load into World of Warcraft, you pick a character name. That's the name that you present to the world. I would love it if we could mask our name by presenting a character name or an account name that we pick when we log into Heroes of the Storm. That would be wonderful.
Ro, I know you know people. You want to make that happen?
Sure. I'll talk to my people.
Wave your magic wand.
All right, so with that, we'll move to this week's Resource Spotlight. And Ro, the spotlight is all yours. Shine on, sir.
Sure. So as far as the spotlight goes, I was doing a little digging on YouTube. I thought I'd type in Heroes of the Storm on YouTube and see who's putting out videos, recent current videos for Heroes of the Storm content. And I came across someone whose channel I've actually seen a fair bit in the past. His name is Force. You can find him at youtube.com/ForceSC2 Strategy. Obviously, this is a guy who did a lot of StarCraft 2 content, but he also does daily, weekly gaming news videos. He covers Hearthstone. But of course, the reason why I'm talking about him tonight is he has done a lot of Heroes of the Storm gameplay videos, and just recently started to do specific videos that focus on build ideas. For example, one of his latest videos a week ago focused on an aggressive support tank build for Tyrael, which focuses on regeneration and group fight play. And just a little bit before this show was recorded tonight, he put up a video that focused on Nova and single target burst damage. So it's definitely something worth checking out. Again, that's youtube.com/ForceSC2Strategy.
Excellent. I have not seen that. I'll definitely have to look that one up. All right, so we'll move on to our hero spotlight. And Alachaas, we will pass the torch to you.
Absolutely. In tonight's hero spotlight, we've got Diablo. Now, we're going to change this up a little bit. I do want to just talk for a few seconds about his abilities. But what we're going to do with the hero spotlight is we've got two amazing co-hosts here who have really gotten a chance to play Diablo. And I want to throw it to them to talk about what are they feel Diablo's strengths in a fight and what are his weaknesses type of idea. So Diablo is a tank, and indeed you can really look at a lot of his damage. And a lot of it is kind of slowing damage or directional damage that's, you know, slamming and really getting for what I would call group play. The biggest thing is I really want to, he's got two different heroic abilities. Now, I want to, Ro and Jasmine, you guys both have talked about how you've played Diablo. And, you know, this is kind of your go-to tank. I think, Ro, you said that. Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong, you said that kind of as well. Yep. So let me first start off with, when you're picking heroic abilities, which way do you go, heroic ability-wise, with Diablo? Jasmine.
Apocalypse. I love a good apocalypse. Everyone loves a good apocalypse. It's a good movie. It's a good plot line.
It's a great X-Men villain.
It basically, so Apocalypse spawns, everyone's probably seen this a million times before, it spawns the little circle of red fiery death, and if you don't move out of it in time, it will get you, it'll stun you, does it stun you? I don't think it does, it just gets you. It just gets you right there.
It does stun for 2 seconds.
Right, okay, so it stuns for a very, very short period of time. Now you'll see that I forgot that, because even though this is my go-to tank, I don't do tanks that often, but when I do, I don't always tank, but when I do, I tank with Diablo.
Wow. The most interesting tank of the world.
The most interesting Lord of Hell in the world.
So, Ro...
go ahead.
Oh, I apologize, Jasmine.
No, go ahead.
So, Ro, I want to know your heroic ability when you're playing Diablo.
Well, oddly enough, I actually choose the other option. I go with Lightning Breath. And here's the thing: even though I'm playing Diablo, which is a warrior character, I would say that my playstyle for Diablo is very atypical for what a warrior does. You know, a warrior's typically the one, you know, kind of getting into the meat of the fight and stuff, soaking up damage. You know, tends to be in group fights a lot. But generally, I use Diablo as, in the very early part of the game, someone who just kills minions, who lanes, for lack of a better term. And the build I use, it's almost kind of more focused on killing as many minions as possible and making pushes. And Lightning Breath, as far as a heroic ability goes, is a great ability for pushing down, you know, a fort or a tower or a structure or something like that. Diablo becomes unmovable, but basically, big cone of lightning, huge amounts of damage over 5 seconds, and you can't move, but you can turn. You can basically pivot like a turret. So heroes on the other team, if they're mobile enough, they can get out of the way of it. I just like adding on that extra damage to bring down that tower or fort. And yeah, so my way of playing Diablo, I'd say, is probably different from a lot of people, because I really focus on just killing minions, building up my soul stones, and going for pushes.
I really appreciate that. That's a very unique playstyle that I had not considered when I came to Diablo. I appreciate that. Good job. Good thinking through.
So you're looking more for that. The tower tank is what I'm going to call it. You're looking for
siege tank?
Siege tank.
Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid. I'd say the way I play him is kind of hybrid specialist warrior in a way, because what I do is, my strategy is, the talent I take in the beginning, for example, is Regeneration Master, which gives you or I'm sorry, not Regeneration Master, Soul Feast. I was confusing two. Soul Feast gives you an additional 5 health and some health regeneration for each soul you gather. Diablo's main mechanic involves souls. The more minions and stuff you kill, you collect souls. When you down heroes, you get like a whole bunch of souls. When you have 100 souls, you get a 5-second res timer, which is really important late in the game, because normally late in the game you have a 60-second res timer. If you die late in the game, you have 100 souls, you spend those souls, and you come back up in 5 seconds. There's a lot of strategy you can use to that, especially if you're making a push. If you want to make a push and push a fort down, and you know you're probably going to go down in a blaze of glory doing it, but you can still get back into the action right away. Also,
by the way, Ro, 10 souls per hero.
Okay, so 10 souls per hero. And just another important thing about playing this kind of style with Diablo is making as much use of Firestorm as possible. So Fire Stomp, rather, which is this ability that basically shoots 8 fire things in all directions out. I take the talents that help improve that. So I take the talent that helps Firestorm, that makes the fire waves come back in and deal more damage. I also take Fire Devil, which gives an aura that which gives a damage aura to Diablo when he uses that. The whole point of this is basically just helping with the push and taking down minions and collecting souls at the same time. And the last thing that kind of completes this build as far as all the stuff I'm taking is your third thing that you pick, the third tier talent, which is Battle Momentum, which I think is important for a lot of classes that depend on, focusing on ability. And what Battle Momentum does is it causes your basic attacks to reduce your ability cooldowns by half a second. That can be very important when you are playing a build that focuses on spamming something like Firestorm, or consider, Lightning Breath. Its cooldown is 60 seconds. The more you attack, the sooner you're going to get that Lightning Breath ready to do another big push of damage.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest weakness of this build that you run into?
Playing it the way I play it, I almost have to have a support with me. And in fact, when I go into the game, if I see a support, I ask that the support go with me, because one reason why I take the Soul Feast talent for that regeneration for the souls is it helps on keeping healed up in the early part of the fight. But you really need to have support with you, because working on damaging minions like that and pushing towers, you're going to constantly be taking some damage, and you can't really afford to be hearthing continuously and going back in. So you really want to have a support with you if you play the way I do. Otherwise, you're going to be at a disadvantage to playing that effectively. And again, not taking Apocalypse means that you have less utility in group fight situations. Also, not taking talents such as Block means that you are going to be squishier. So it's all about you are giving up some of the more tactical group fight talents and things that make you a bit more resilient in exchange for being aggressive and pushing down minions and working on taking down structures farther.
Okay, so Jasmine, I want to jump back over to you, and because you had said you're not playing Diablo this way, so how are you playing Diablo? What do you find is your advantage in Diablo and how you're playing it?
Well, when I look for a role that I am not particularly great at, or a role that I'm still learning or does not really call to me like tank, I look for the characters that I feel like I am going to screw up the least while playing and be able to be at least helpful to my team, as helpful as I can be to my team, without just completely what's the term? Ass over tea kettle, when you just fall on your head, and something along those lines. So
hey guys, you're going to carry me through this match. Just want to let you know that up front.
I want to be the least carried as possible, even if I have to end up playing a class that I don't like play a tank class. No, I don't want to. All right, fine. So the reason I picked Diablo for my I don't want to play a tank, but I guess I'm going to play this tank class, is that Diablo has these two abilities that move the enemy that you are fighting. So one lets you grab an enemy and slam them behind you, and the other one lets you push an enemy forward. So what I really like to do is kind of hang out close to my tower, and when a squishy enemy is coming near me, I grab them, I shove them behind me, and I push them back, and then I try to kind of keep them there, and hopefully between my damage and the damage of my towers, I'm able to usually wreck most of the squishier classes I come across. So mine is, while Ro is a lot more aggressive in his tower tanking abilities, I am a lot more of a defensive tank, where I stand there and I go, oh, you're going to come try to get now you're behind my tower, take that, how do you like that?
And
So
that combo is
right.
so important no matter what your talent build is. Being able to throw him behind and charging him, you're going to want to do that often.
You can grab them, you can shove them back into your team fight, you can shove them behind you into the team fight and then move in front of them, and when they start to run, you can then push them back again and they're back in your team fight. And I do like to pair that when I'm in a team fight with the Apocalypse, because I find that it's pretty easy to move out of if you just launch the Apocalypse and it hits everyone on different parts of the map and they go, oh crap, and they sidestep to the left. But if you do it while you're in the middle of a team fight match and all of those Apocalypse circles are all interlacing and they're all on top of each other, you're going to hit someone. You're probably going to hit a lot of people. So you do that, you use your throws to get them in position, you launch your Apocalypse, and bam, Apocalypse for everyone.
Okay, so...
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yay, you're dead.
Got your Apocalypse.
Now, what would you say is the base... Playing this playstyle, where is the weakness kind of sitting in that playstyle?
The weakness is when you're out in the middle of everything and you throw people behind you and you're like, well, there's no tower or other people around here. I have just moved you about 15 feet for no good reason, but I did that. I guess I will launch this fiery attack at you. I really don't like Fire Stomp. Fire Stomp is his W ability, I believe. Fire Stomp launches fire around you, and it's... Maybe I'm just crap at it, but I find it very challenging to aim it and actually hit people. I feel like I have very bad luck with it because I'll work hard, I'll try to aim it, and it will just go directly between 5 different enemies and hit nobody. I'll just be sitting here like, well, crap. I've thrown you behind me, I've pushed you around, and I have launched fire nowhere near you. Excellent work.
And you know what? Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you, and Fire Stomp, playing the way I play, it is horrible using Fire Stomp to hit other players. The best time to use Fire Stomp, of course, is when you see a group of enemy minions starting to make their way down the lane and you want to take down that group of minions so your minions can advance to the tower. That's where Fire Stomp really shines. Fire Stomp isn't the best when being used against other players because of that accuracy problem.
I really do appreciate it when it comes to clearing a lane. That is definitely probably the best use for it. I have to agree. The best use, shoot fire at those minions. You probably aren't going to miss them. Maybe don't bother shooting fire at other players. You're probably it's not going to hit them. It's just not.
Well, and I want to thank you guys, and I hope that kind of our listeners get a new way to play Diablo out of this and really see some great strengths and maybe some different ways that they can bring Diablo into their playstyle, as well as really know if you're playing against Diablo, how to kind of take him out, what maybe to look for, because even Jasmine, you're saying, hey, if he's holding back, I might not want to attack him because they might throw me behind a tower. So I think that I want to thank you guys both for really going through that with me and really getting that up on Diablo. So we're definitely taking a look at Diablo. We took a look at Diablo this week, and thank you guys. That's all I can say.
Yay.
All right, Al, so taking a look at the free heroes we can play this week and the heroes we haven't covered yet in the Hero Spotlight, who would you like to cover next week? Who should we be prepared to talk about?
All right, so looking at heroes that we have not talked about. Let's see here.
We got some Illidan, Malfurion, Sonya, Sergeant Hammer, Vala, and Lily. I am confident that we are all over level 7, so I'm confident that we have all unlocked Lily.
You know, I heard some people really talking about they wanted to try some Illidan action. I heard that kind of twice when I was going over. So I think Illidan is where we're going to be looking at next week.
All right.
All right, so we will all place Milden this week, and listeners, if you want to place Milden too, so you can send in your comments and thoughts about the character, we would love to receive them. So with that, I'm going to call that a show. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Here's our contact information. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, we are at Prepare for Combat with the number 4. You can email us at podcast@prepareforcombat.net. Our website is prepareforcombat.net, oddly enough. And you subscribe to the show on iTunes and Stitcher. So, Jasmine, where can people find you?
You can find all of my stuff at irljasmine.com. If you'd like to watch me live stream, you can do that Monday through Friday, starting around 11:30, going for 2 to 3 hours. You can go to twitch.tv/irljasmine. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/irljasmine. Basically, just Google irljasmine. You can find everything that I do. It's very easy. Or just go to my website. That links to everything.
All right, what are you live streaming this week?
Right now, I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. I really would like to be streaming Warlords of Draenor Alpha, but if you have... someone
Deeks
came
would like to be
next door.
streaming it too.
He would. He's really upset about these servers. So they took the Warlords of Draenor Alpha servers down for the weekend, and they were supposed to come up yesterday on Monday. They didn't. Then they were supposed to come up today. They didn't come up today. So I actually got to stream for 10 minutes of Warlords of Draenor on Thursday of last week. That has been the entirety of my streaming. So I will be streaming some of that as soon as the servers come back up.
Okay, Alachaas, where can people find you on the interwebs?
So you can always find me on my Twitter. That's the kind of the best place to find me, and that is at Alachaas. That's ALACHAAS. Or you can find me on my other podcast, which is Geektopia, and you can find us at geektopiashow.com. We've got a really interesting guest coming up this week. I'm excited to have him on. He is one of my favorite artists. I have tons of his commissions actually inside my house. In fact, my wife used him to get a commission for a Nathan Fillion picture at Comic-Con this last Phoenix Comic-Con.
And are you going to tell us the name of this person, or is it a surprise?
Oh, I guess I can say it is Jeff Pima. Jeff Pima.
All right. Awesome. All right, Ro, where can people find you on the web?
On Twitter at Rowow, RHOWOW. You can also follow the show I do, Realm Maintenance, at Realm Podcast. And I'm going to push Realm Maintenance a little extra bit this week because it's celebrating its 100th episode next Tuesday. It's going to be a longer than usual show. Thank you very much.
Yay!
It's going to be a longer than usual show, and it's been a month in the making because I decided to interview literally 50 different people, more than 50 people, and take bits from each interview over the past month and mesh it all into one super show. So
that's gonna be awesome.
a lot of well-known WoW podcaster names, and also I just interviewed some podcast listeners to get their thoughts on stuff too. It should be a fun show.
Awesome. And again, I also have to give you a second shout out for Flex Mode. I've just been catching up with the Flex Mode started. I just finished listening to the first part of the Survivor Ungoro Crater, and that was awesome. I have to say, amazing podcasting.
I'm not a fan of how my Survivor Ungoro persona is portrayed in Flex Mode, but
the naked guy.
Yeah. Apparently, the version of me in a Survivor Ungoro is the one who decides to just let it all hang in the breeze in the nude. And while I wasn't a fan of that, hey, I was a good sport for most of it. But yeah, Flex Mode is fun. Going to be recording another episode of that this week, tomorrow actually, and I have no idea what we're talking about. And we never know what we're talking about till we do the show, so we'll see what happens.
Outstanding. Okay, as for myself, you can follow me on Twitter at AcuZod, ACUZOD, or on my website, AcuZod.com. So, on behalf of Jasmine, Ro, and Alachaas, this is AcuZod saying you are now prepared for combat. Roll credits. Cool. All right, stopping the broadcast. Goodbye. Thank you, watchers, people watching video movement pixels.